Money Heist wasn't just a crime show, it was a feeling. The slow tightening of a plan, the emotional chaos inside a locked space, the way intelligence became seductive, and how love and loyalty grew under pressure. It wasn't really about stealing money. It was about watching people gamble everything, identity, morality, relationships, on a single idea. When the final episode ended, it left a very specific kind of emptiness. Not just, what do I watch next, but what can possibly give me that same rush? These series don't copy Money Heist, but they tap into the same nerve. Brilliant minds, impossible plans, emotional stakes, and characters who fall in love, fall apart, or lose themselves while chasing something they can't let go of. Berlin is the most obvious place to start, but it earns its place. Where Money Heist was about survival and ideology, Berlin is about desire, about elegance, about the art of the steal. Season 2, set in Seville, leans deeper into romance and performance, showing heists as theatrical seductions rather than acts of rebellion. Berlin himself isn't driven by justice or desperation. He's driven by obsession, by beauty, by control, by women, by the idea of doing something perfectly, even if it destroys him. The show understands that what made Berlin compelling wasn't just his intelligence, but his emotional recklessness. Every plan is also a love story, and every love story is already doomed. Number 2, Lupin takes the professor fantasy and filters it through charm instead of confinement. Hussein Diop isn't locking himself inside a building with hostages. He's moving freely through Paris, slipping between identities, manipulating institutions that were never designed to see someone like him coming. What connects Lupin to Money Heist isn't scale, it's intelligence as power. Watching Hassan plan 3 steps ahead, anticipate betrayal, and weaponize underestimation scratches the same itch as watching the professor explain a move before it happens. But Lupin adds something softer and more emotional. A man shaped by loss, driven by legacy, constantly torn between revenge and the family he's trying not to lose. Number 3, The Gold is where the fantasy collapses into reality. This is the show for people who loved Money Heist, but wondered what happens after the masks come off. Based on the Brinks Mat robbery, it strips the glamour away and replaces it with paranoia, greed, and rot. Instead of stylish speeches and romantic sacrifices, you get relationships corroded by money, friendships turning predatory, and lives slowly hollowed out by the very success they chased. It's still about a massive theft, but the real tension comes from watching how impossible it is to escape what you've stolen. This is Money Heist without the adrenaline, just the consequences. Number 4, Kaleidoscope plays with structure the same way Money Heist played with time. You're dropped into fragments of a heist before, during, and after, with no clear starting point. Every episode reframes what you think you know, forcing you to constantly reassess loyalty, betrayal, and intention. It mirrors the psychological experience of a heist itself, never seeing the full picture until it's too late. The emotional hook comes from realizing that intelligence doesn't prevent damage. It just spreads it out. Every character believes they're in control, and every character is wrong. Number 5. Steel represents the modern evolution of the genre. Sleeker, faster, and more corporate, it moves the battlefield from banks to boardrooms. This isn't about robbing vaults, it's about robbing systems. Power here is quiet, legal-looking, and deeply personal. Romance isn't separate from the crime, it's embedded in it. Trust becomes currency. Attraction becomes leverage. Like Money Heist, the show understands that tension doesn't come from action alone, but from watching people risk emotional exposure in environments where weakness is punished. Number 6, Squid Game doesn't look like a heist show, but it feels like one. Replace a vault with prize money and guards with rules, and the DNA is the same. Desperation, strategy, moral compromise. The way people justify cruelty when survival is framed as a game. What connects it to Money Heist most strongly is how it turns participants into symbols, while quietly destroying them as individuals. Alliances form. Bonds feel real. Then pressure fractures everything. It's not about winning, it's about what you're willing to become once the rules stop protecting you. Number 7. Alice in Borderland leans harder into intellect and psychology. Where Squid Game is blunt, Alice in Borderland is cerebral. Every challenge is a puzzle designed to expose character, fear, and sacrifice. Like Money Heist, it thrives on anticipation. Watching characters analyze impossible situations, make brutal decisions, and discover that intelligence alone doesn't save you. Emotion always complicates the math. Romance here isn't comforting, it's destabilizing. Caring about someone becomes another variable that can get you killed. Number 8. Prison Break is the blueprint that made Money Heist possible. Michael Scofield is the spiritual ancestor of the professor, a man who sees systems as puzzles and people as pieces. The genius of Prison Break isn't the escape itself. It's watching how a plan collapses under human unpredictability. Every emotional connection becomes both motivation and weakness. Like Money Heist, the show understands that the most dangerous thing in any plan is attachment. You don't just want the escape to work, you want the people to survive what it costs them. Number 9. Ozark is what happens when the heist never ends. Instead of pulling off one perfect job, the characters are trapped in an endless cycle of laundering, bargaining, and compromise. There are no masks here, no speeches about freedom, just quiet terror and relentless pressure. What ties it to Money Heist is the constant escalation. Every solution creates a worse problem. Every attempt to protect family pulls them deeper into danger. Love becomes transactional. Loyalty becomes conditional. It's the slowest show on this list and easily the most suffocating. Number 10. Billionaire's Bunker had all the right DNA. Same creators, same sense of containment, same obsession with class, power, and desperation. But unlike Money Heist, it never got the chance to finish its story. And in a way that feels fitting. The show was about the illusion of safety, the idea that wealth and planning can protect you from collapse. Its cancellation leaves that illusion unresolved, mirroring the truth it was trying to explore.
Hay que aguantar el tirón, porque viene la bajada a tumba abierta.